morning, Chicago Cubs fans, and we are back with another edition of Cubs Daily. My name is Steven Ryan. The Cubs are back on the winning track with a nice, clean 6-1 victory yesterday. Kid Cade Horton did his thing. The Cubs offense came back to life in the W. We're going to talk about all that good stuff and more. We'll talk about some more trade targets, and then we'll wrap up with the series finale here at the end of the show. But before we get into all that good stuff, just want to give everyone a big time thank you for all of the support here recently. Again, commenting, sharing your thoughts with the community. Always the best. Throwing that thumbs up on the video, and of course, subscribing to the channel. So if you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button and follow along with Cubs Daily. We're talking Cubs all day long here. So let's hop right into it. The Cubs get back to business with a nice 6-1 victory. Shout out the Miami Marlins as they defeat the Milwaukee Brewers 7-4, and we are tied back for first place. If we win today, we're going to go into the Milwaukee series tied for first, where we can control our destiny and get back into first place. Again, not the end-all be-all, too much baseball to be played, but we can go into that Milwaukee series as an excellent litmus test just before the trade deadline to see where we truly stand. Again, lots of great things yesterday, right? Matt Shaw continues to swing a really hot bat. He went yard as well. The offense looked to continue to take great at-bats towards the end, dropping 3 more runs in the 8th and really extending that lead and getting us the victory ultimately. And again, the kid, man, Cade Horton doing his thing, 6 1/3, 4 hits, no runs, 3 Ks. Really like what I'm seeing from him, right? That first inning, it was 1st and 3rd, 1 out, induced a double play. He got another double play a few innings later as well to just kind of end that momentum that the White Sox were trying to build. You know, the thing that I really, like to see the most is he's figuring out how to get out of situations. He's figuring out how to pitch to contact, but I still think there's a lot more with the swing and miss potential, and I think he could go to another level. Will he maybe get to that level this season? I don't know, because again, he's a rookie. He's got to get that experience, but it's really promising to see for this Cubs team down the road. I'm talking next year and the year after, as he begins to flourish into a really good starting pitcher for this ball club. So again, it's what I like to see from this Cubs team. Again, just finding ways to battle back is truly what we need in this situation, right? Again, we're not playing our best offensively. We're not pitching our best either, but we continue to battle. We continue to find ways to win. Now, I think it's time for all of us to have a serious conversation about our left fielder, Ian Happ. So, Ian Happ did hit a home run yesterday, which was good to see. I'm hoping this is kind of like a little bit of a turnaround, right? Again, it's a Major League Baseball season. Players are going to go through ebbs and flows, right? You're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. You're going to have hot streaks. You're going to have cold streaks. Well, before the game yesterday, Ian Happ, he hit that home run. He hit 2 hits. He drew a walk. He kind of looked more like his normal self at the plate. But again, before that game yesterday, and this stretch reaches back 60 games, and yes, he did have an injury stint in there as well. So over his last 10 games, he was hitting 194. Over his last 25, he was hitting 149. Over his last 40, he was hitting 172. And over his last 60 games, he was hitting 189. Not what you want to see from your left fielder, who we're not paying everything to him, but he's been our stability factor, right? And for a good amount of those 60 games, he was batting leadoff for us because he always went up there and gave you a solid at-bat, which is what the Cubs truly needed out of him. Now, my whole time with Ian Happ, I've always thought he's been a professional baseball player, right? I've always thought he was good enough to be a pro. I think in a World Series Cubs lineup, he's batting 7th, 8th, or 9th. I don't think he's anywhere in the top 6. I don't think he's that good. I think he goes up there with a great plate approach. I think he's going to go up there and make that pitcher throw pitches. But, he's going to be hot. It's going to be cold. He's a little bit streaky. Obviously, he's going to bring the gold glove defense, which, that is part of the game as well. And you do need out there to see. So, Ian Happ, man, I'm not liking what I'm not liking what's been happening, but he's definitely not as bad as he's been playing. I just don't know how good it's going to be. So hopefully he can turn that around. Again, 2 hits yesterday. Good plate approach. He went yard. He got another hit. Maybe he's starting to see the ball a little bit better, which is just in perfect time for that series against Milwaukee. Hopefully, he has turned it around. Now, as we all know, ladies and gentlemen, it is trade season here in Major League Baseball. A couple of minor moves yesterday, right? The Royals getting Randall Grichuk. Maybe that signals that they are not going to be selling at the deadline. So maybe Seth Lugo's going to be staying on hold. They had a walk-off win yesterday. They're kind of in the wild card hunt. They might have to jump a few teams, but, who knows? Now the Yankees acquire Ahmed Rosario for not so much either. Just minor moves, nothing major. I still think something major is brewing here over the next few days. Curious to see as to what may happen. But according to Mr. Mike Rodriguez, the Cubs are very, very, very aggressively pursuing Eugenio Suarez. Now, where I rank Mike Rodriguez amongst the national beat reporters, he's not Jeff Passan or Ken Rosenthal. He's just a tier below them, so he's generally pretty solid on his resources and all that stuff. So, again, I do take his word for it, but, I also look at it with a grain of salt as well. He says the Cubs are very heavily involved in trying to get Eugenio Suarez. But I think when the Cubs are going to deal with the Diamondbacks, they're trying to get multiple players, right? They want to get in a dreamscape. They want to get Merrill Kelly and Suarez. And, I think the Diamondbacks want some pitching back. So I'm not sure what the cost is going to be. The part that I fear is that, I think they want Jackson Wiggins. I'm not sure if Jackson Wiggins is going to be worth it. It's a delicate balance, right? There's no such thing as really a pitching prospect. Obviously, there's pitching prospects, but, Jackson Wiggins could come up to the big leagues and get shelled. Jackson Wiggins could come up to the big leagues and become a star, you just never know until they're up there. And unless the Cubs have a plan for Jackson Wiggins to come up this season and help this team, I don't know if it's worth the risk necessarily to keep him in that sense. Because again, we could really use Merrill Kelly to help solidify the starting staff. And then I think getting Suarez on top of that would just be another boost to this offense for, by proxy, if you have these guys going 1 through 9, not everyone's going to be slumping. That's going to be a tough draw come the postseason. Now, I always say this, we do need pitching. We need some more relief help, and I would like to make, get another couple starters. The Cubs need to make multiple moves here, in my opinion, so we need to see them be a little bit more aggressive earlier on in the trade deadline, because I need them to go get a pitcher now or a bat now, because there's some deals. You're not going to be able to make all 3 deals on Thursday, at the deadline. It's going to be a tough get on that front. So if they can make a move now, still have more time to make more moves to help solidify this 2025 roster, then that is the play for sure. So trade deadlines ramping up. Keep it locked in right here on Cubs Daily for all your trade updates. We're going to be breaking down the moves and the impact it has for the Chicago Cubs. So the series wraps up today at 1:10. Fasten your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen. Ben Brown is going back on the mound. And this is my point, right? This is why we need more pitchers, because I don't need this roller coaster every 5th day. I don't need a bullpen game to happen every 5th day. But Ben Brown is all we have right now. On a positive note, Javier Assad was up there with the big league club earlier this weekend. Good to see him back with the club. I'm not sure how close he is to coming back to pitch. Javier Assad last year was a big-time player for this Cubs team. He pitched really, really well. Maybe, again, the reinforcements can come from within, but are they going to be coming up soon? Maybe we only need to get a Merrill Kelly, right? Because Javier Assad's going to come back and supplement the bullpen before Tyone gets back and helps this team win. Again, a lot of great questions to be had. We're going to be facing the White Sox All-Star Sean Burke. And again, if we can win, we can remain tied for first. The Brewers have lost 2 in a row to the Marlins, so I do imagine that they are going to take care of business today against the Miami Marlins, because it's very, very difficult to sweep a Major League Baseball team. And again, I just don't see them getting swept by the Marlins. So Cubs can get the win today. They can stay in first, and then tomorrow begins the series against the Brewers. We'll preview all that and more right here on Cubs Daily. So again, if you're enjoying the content, smash the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more. I will see you all tomorrow. Hope you guys all have a happy Sunday. See you soon.